Y'all know who y'all rocking with. It's your boy Rocky, the dark-skinned one. It's time to spin a yard with your boy. How my peoples doing out there, man? How my kings and queens doing out there, man? All my gangsters on the check-in, man. Y'all know by the time this video reach its viewers, I pray it reach y'all in the best health mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, all of that. You heard? We got to pray for each other because ain't nobody going to pray for us. We all we got. All right. So all the females who definitely be on the check-in, happy Mother's Day to y'all. I pray I had one of the best days of the year. You heard yesterday. I hope y'all husbands, y'all sons, y'all daughters that made y'all feel like the queen that y'all are. You heard? So today we got a story that's from the USP Penitentiary THOMSON. And this is not a story of glamour, of gloat. This is a story of warning. This is a story of promising if we don't get it right. You understand? And so on this Bite TV channel, right, I get... When I bring when we doing the story, right? When we doing locked in or we doing the storytelling, right? I do get excited. I do get excited about some of my fond memories I have with some dudes that I might not never see again, or blocks that I might not never be on again. You heard? And but don't take me having fond memories and sharing them with y'all as me glamorizing the streets or glamorizing wrong shit or jail. Hell no. For anybody who's listening right now, jail is not a place you want to be. I don't give a fuck if you've been to jail already. That's not a place you want to go back to. I don't care if you cop diesel 6'3", 400 pounds, and you could take over everything. That's still not a place you want to be. You heard? Because sometimes it's easy to get in jail, but it's very hard to get out. And that's what this story right here is going to shed light on how easy it is to become an inmate, but how hard it is to become a free man once you're on the inside. Once they got you, they got you. And I ain't just talking about the law. I'm talking about the wolves, baby. Bobby Everson was nearing the end of his decade-long federal prison sentence, but he feared he wouldn't make it home alive. In July 2021, he was sent to the Special Management Unit at the new U.S. Penitentiary in Thompson, Illinois, a program meant for some of the most violent and disruptive prisoners, though many have ended up there who don't fit that description. Everson, who was serving time for drugs and weapon charges, had recently been written up for threatening bodily harm and assault with serious injury. Though prison records don't provide details, after his transfer, his letters home to his family in New York grew more desperate with each passing week. Everson, who the family called AJ, told them he was locked down nearly 24 hours a day with a cellmate, and cells so small that the toilet was crammed next to the bottom bunk. He was let out only for occasional medical appointments, showers, and an hour of exercise in an outdoor cage. He could hear guards in riot gear blasting men on his tier with pepper spray and locking them in with hard restraints. His own wrists, ankles, and abdomen had bruises on them to show exactly how tight that they locked them with these restraints. Prisoners called it the Thompson tattoos. But the most pressing threat came from the men officers chose to put in his cell. I feel a staff here is purposely trying to put me in a situation of conflict, he wrote to his cousin Roosevelt in late October. Pray for your little cousin. When I say only shot callers make it to these spots, I want y'all to understand them shot callers ain't shot callers for no reason. They ain't regular people. You understand? So a lot of them, they look at race. Like in those units, you got a lot of Aryan brotherhoods, Mexican mafias, black guerrilla families. You understand? These niggas is not giving passes to nobody. You heard? And so you'll get in the cell with a nigga, right? and he'll be white, you'll be black. So now the countdown is on to who gonna kill each other first, point blank period. Because the white's not gonna live with no black person. And these motherfucking marshals, they know that. They know that. And this is why they doing this shit, just so we could pick each other off so they don't gotta do it. Multiple people claim in federal court filings that officers stoked tensions between cellmates and intentionally paired men who they knew would attack each other. One person formerly incarcerated at Thompson said in a lawsuit that officers spread the false information that he was a sex offender, inciting physical and sexual assault from multiple cellmates. Baby. That's scary too, man. For somebody who, and I hope whoever may need to hear this perfectly clear. Coming in jail, having those sex crimes, bro, that shit is never the wave. You understand? I don't give a fuck if you dated somebody who was 16 and you 18. Boy. You don't want no shit like that on your jacket, because once that shit is on your jacket, everybody wants you. Everybody wants you. The rapists, the kingpins, the killers, everybody gonna want you. So those of y'all who may be into all of that, y'all niggas better go get some help, find a therapist, get somebody to talk to, cleanse yourself, get a stone or something, woosah, sage, get that shit out of you. You understand? Before a nigga put something in you. You heard? All right. The Marshall Project and NPR asked the Bureau of Prisons about multiple lawsuits and claims made in federal court filings out of Thompson. But agency spokesperson Scott Taylor said in an email that he could not comment on pending litigations or individual cases. He noted that people in federal prisons are not housed in solitary confinement because, in general, inmates in restricted housing are housed two to a cell. To ensure safety, a team of prison officials consider gang affiliation, religion, geography, and past incident reports and complaints when assigning cellmates. Intentionally ignoring a known threat from a cellmate will be misconduct by an officer and investigator, Taylor wrote. The Boroughs of Prison Special Management Unit used to be housed inside the U.S. Penitentiary of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, a notorious nearly century-old prison known as the Big House. A 2016 Marshall Project and NPR investigation found Lewisburg have been sued multiple times over the high rate of violence among cellmates and the use of harsh restraints by staff. In 2018, the Bureau of Prisons announced it was moving the unit to Thompson. According to lawsuits, letters, and interviews, the violence and abuse at Lewisburg simply relocated to the new facility. The Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs, a legal nonprofit, has spoken to dozens of men at Thompson, many of whom said conditions there were worse than at any federal prison, including Lewisburg. So they just took the unit from Lewisburg and moved it over here. You understand? And doing the same shit. You know, like, bro, these fucking marshals, these pigs, bro. This is what they do. I promise you. They don't give a fuck about getting sued because it ain't coming out their pocket. They're literally afraid for their lives, said Jacqueline Kuhn, deputy legal director of the committee, which had previously sued Lewisburg over a lack of mental health care. But if they refuse to be celled with a person who they think could kill them, they get pulled out of the cell and put into restraints as punishment. Border has heard similar descriptions of shacking from numerous people held at Thompson. They're having their arms and legs stretched out and held separated for hours and sometimes for days on end. She said they are denied food, they are denied water. Many of them report being left in their own waste. It's literally a kind to a torture. It's really a kind to a torture chamber. And I agree with them. Like, to do that shit to another human being, you think that shit is cool, that shit is whack. And this is the real shit too, because We ain't just going to talk about one side being good and bad. We going to both of them. The inmates is so fucked up in the head that sometimes you can't even blame the staff, because the staff like, yo, we dealing with some fucking animals. You understand? That prison shit and that gang shit in there, and then that federal shit, that having all that time shit, that shit fuck you up mentally. Where motherfucker know he ain't coming home, so it forces you to be your most savage, sadistic self. And boy, if you ain't never know how far a human being could push evil, go to the feds. You'll see. According to the Bureau of Prisons policy and federal regulations, such severe restraints should be used only as last alternative for people in prison who are actively dangerous to themselves or others, and only for as long as it takes to subdue or control a person. Force may not be used to punish an inmate, the policy states. Generally acting per BOP policy, restraints are not used as a method of punishment an inmate or in any manner which restricts blood circulation or obstructs the inmate's airways, or in a manner that causes unnecessary physical pain or extreme discomfort. Taylor, the borough spokesperson, wrote in an email, allegations of staff misconduct are taken seriously by the BOP and are referred for investigation to the Office of Inspector General. Federal prisons across the country are facing growing scrutiny over outbreaks of violence and abuse by officers, as documented by the Associated Press, and understaffing at many prisons escalated to crisis levels during the pandemic. Increasing risk. Hold on. Let me tell y'all, right? So I caught a case in 2017. I bailed out and I wound up fighting that case for... It's 2017 when I caught the case, but it was at the end, right? And so I wound up fighting that case 2018 into 2020. And this is when COVID hit, right? And I promise y'all, I prayed to God. I done said song, I done learned Psalms, all of that. Because I said, yo, I do not want to be locked up during this pandemic. For you to be locked up during some shit where you don't know what's happening on the outside, and all y'all getting is, oh, these people dying, this person dying, this dying, they going on lockdown, nobody can leave. You know, that should have fucked a nigga mind up. That should have fucked my head up, knowing that I'm incarcerated. And I said this, I'm like, yo, if they send me to Rikers Island in the world, you know, because at the time we thinking COVID-19, you understand what we was thinking, what they made us think? So I'm like, yo, if they put me on Rikers Island where I can't get to my son, I can't get to my mom's, I gotta figure some shit out. I'm ready to plan going on a run and all that, just so I wouldn't have to be locked down during the pandemic. So I already know for the people who was locked up during that pandemic, bro, they went through some shit. I promise you. And the prisons is keeping it hush-hush, but it's a lot of people died during the pandemic, man. Increasing risk for staff and incarcerated people alike. In response, the Senate has formed a new group to investigate federal prison operations. And Bureau of Prisons Director Michael Convac announced his resignation in January, but there's been little national attention paid so far to the ongoing violence at THOMSON. So that right there, man, it was a brother, man. That's the what would you call it? That's their way of breaking it down. So we gonna have our way. So the brother A.J. Thompson out of Buffalo, New York. Definitely riding in that New York car. He was somebody for peace. He you know, you got some dudes that's on them compounds and they with the shits. They all the way with the shits. You heard? They like I said, you got a lot of people who got time. And a lot of people got time and they ain't coming home. So it's whatever. We could blow this shit up if you want to. And then you got some people who got a date and they in there at the door. And so they falling back like, yo, nah, I'm good, bro. Or, and this have always been a thought in my head when it came down to when I got my time, right? I only caught 60 months in the feds, right? And so once I got to Kentucky Terry Hutt and all that, I knew better than to be like, yo, I only got 60 months. You heard? I'm up there telling niggas I got life and all that. You heard? So a nigga won't play with me. You heard? And not play with me, but you start seeing and even feeling the jealousy, even from motherfuckers in your car when you close to being home, because of the silent animosity that so many people got towards each other. That once my car been knew my shot caller, but this is what I did. Once they checked my paperwork and shit like that, I came to the shot caller on my car, and I came to the one who checked my paper. I'm like, yo, look, y'all see my shit is good. I ain't no rat. I ain't none of that. But can y'all please keep my my going home date between me, you, and you? I don't want the whole car to know. I don't even want the compound to know how much time I'm doing. And the one, my shot caller, he looked at me, but then he realized, he said, yo, little homie, you about to be out the door. Nigga, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Don't worry about that. I'm like, nah, I do got to worry about that. And the other one who was doing the library, my son K, he like, yo, he like, yo, Ralph, I told you, this little nigga smart. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, that nigga ain't going. A nigga make you kill him so you won't go home. You heard? I done seen it. I swear to God, I done seen it. I seen the nigga who I was close with, right? Real close with, super close with. And I used to feed this nigga, bro. I used to feed the nigga. I can't even remember this nigga name, bro. I don't like the nigga. But this is what happened. The nigga came in, and he was a Bronx nigga. A Bronx nigga, bro. There's always a Bronx nigga, right? But nah, this nigga, and I don't even think he was a Bronx nigga. I think he was like a Mount Vernon nigga, but we gonna tag it on a Bronx jacket anyway. But he came in a spot, right? And from his face, I knew he was, I knew what type of nigga he was gonna be. He got that real black skin. Son just looked dirty. I'm gonna keep it 100. He just looked dirty, like he wasn't doing nothing on the streets. He probably got wrapped up in another nigga's indictment. You heard? And you see me, right? I'm a dude. If I'm behind a wall, I kind of try to make sure my people's is alright. If I fuck with you and have conversations with you and mac it with you and watch TV with you and work out with you, of course I'm gonna try to make sure you good. You heard? And that's just how it was with me. Like, if I cook at night, right? I already told y'all the hustles that I had going, so I was able to shop and shit like that, shop big. And if I cook a meal, I'll give certain niggas, a bowl so they could eat too, type of shit. And so when son first pulled up, I'm like, yo, where you from? Sound like, yo, I'm from here, such and such. All right, copy. Yo, you from New York. You fucking with us. Yo, I got some sweats for you. I got some, you hook a nigga up. Even though everybody else going to make sure he all right too. But this is me. I ain't even got to see your paperwork. Yo, you say you from New York? All right, look, yo, I got some sweats for you. I got some food for you. I got a radio for you. You might got to get your own batteries and your own headphones, but I got a radio for you. I got the whip for you so you don't be in your cell bored and all that. Certain shit like that I didn't mind doing. I did it. And son pulled up, and the nigga was like, son, he was like, yo, good looking, bro. Like, you could tell that he appreciated the me holding him down, making sure he was all right. But when a nigga come in and they was greasy on the street, you gotta know that shit gonna follow them wherever they go. And I mean this is what I mean by that. A lot of niggas is fucked up in jail because they was fucked up outside. And I don't mean fucked up like, yo, they didn't have no money or none of that. Nah. Certain people had money. Certain niggas was balling and all that, but they wasn't taking care of their peoples. They wasn't making sure mommy was alright. They wasn't making sure they babies was good. They wasn't making sure they baby moms and them was good. You understand? These is the niggas who was real selfish. And so once you get behind that wall and you ain't got that love that'll make sure you alright, even in this situation, oh, you gonna be fucked up. And that was the exact vibes I got off the nigga. Because usually a nigga that's young, right? A nigga that's young coming in that's like 26, 23 or some shit like that. You expect them to come in with a little female or something, you heard? I came in, I had a little female and all that was writing me and all that. She left by the second year, but she was still there, you heard? This nigga, he ain't had no pieces hitting you. We couldn't write no pieces. And this is what us jail niggas like to do. When you come in and we know you just in there came off the street, we like, yo, we know you got the connection to the joints. What's up? Yo, I need a piece to ride this out with me. And son couldn't do none of that. Like, son ain't had no joints. I'm like, yo, if you need a three-way, let me know. Or, whatever. You might could use the cell phone, you heard? But son used to, nah, don't worry about that. I'm like, yo, you don't want to call your moms? Yo, nah, my mom's this and that. Yo, you don't want to call your baby moms and all that? Your kid and that? Nah, bro, I'm like, all right. But that was the first sign to let me know, yeah, son might not be my type of nigga. And this is what happens in prison. Once you do one thing for a nigga, they always expect. So me feeding the nigga the first few days when he came in, the nigga thought that shit was going to happen every day. And so once I started, once he stopped getting a bowl of the food at nighttime, the nigga looking over there with the hungry face, you heard? Like, you know how a nigga, he put those eyes on like, all right. But that shit left a little animosity. And I'm like, yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, you're a little dirty ass, my nigga. I done fucking fed you and all type of shit. Nigga, you feeling away, nigga, you a man. Nigga, let me see you shake and bake. Bring something to the table, nigga. Bring a soup or something, nigga. You understand? Show me you could. I'm not the type that'll forever keep my hand out. I gotta make something happen. I'm a nigga who, you bringing something to the table, nigga, I don't care about just what you bring to the table. I care about what I bring to the table too, nigga. I'm not about to let you take care of me. And that was the vibe from homeboy. And the nigga, once I started, he knew, I told you he just came through, and I'm damn near 3 years in already, about to damn near be on my way down, you heard? And son started doing mad little shit. And I'm like, yo, this nigga want me to kill him. And he wasn't doing shit like to that extent to where that should have been in my mind. But nah, this is the place where we at. Nigga, keep on playing with me and I'm gonna make an example out of you, nigga. And it's not gonna be pretty for you, because you ain't gonna be living to laugh or none of that shit. And that's what son to do. Son to do the joking, playing shit. Like, meaning, he'll throw something slick out there. I'll catch it with aggression. And he'd be like, yo, I'm just playing, my nigga. You serious? How you get serious with that? So, I knew what the nigga was doing. He wanted me to really clap his ass so he could tell on me and I could be stuck in the fucking compound with him, you heard? But you gotta watch those niggas, man, because my man, Bobby Everson, a.k.a. AJ, bro, the nigga was on his way out. He just did 10 joints. And niggas killed him. And that shit is fucked up, you heard? So, those of y'all out there who feel like, yeah, you gotta go to prison to make your bones, or to make the gangsters look at you like you a gangster too. Just know when you go there, I don't give a fuck if it's for 60 days or if you there for 5 days. Nigga, it ain't never promised that you gonna make it out that shit. So don't ever try and make it there, you heard? And y'all know the vibes, y'all know what it is. It's time to spin it, y'all, with your boy, but we about to lock in right now. It's Bite. Be out of here.
Learned of an important change happening at the federal prison. We're hearing reports of inmates at the federal prison up there, USP THOMSON, being transferred out of the facility. This is a developing situation with few confirmed details. Joining us live at the THOMSON is News 8's Shelby Kluver. Shelby, what do we know so far?
Hey guys, well, we're hearing from a source close to THOMSON that there is going to be a mission change at this facility. Now, what exactly does that mean? We don't know. But we do know, as we pulled up this morning, we saw a bus parked outside of THOMSON that drove inside. We took up the News 8 drone and ended up seeing that bus pulled up back against the prison itself. And we have some video that we want to show you. Again, we don't know what this bus is doing here exactly, but we are hearing reports the high security inmates here at USP THOMSON are being transferred out. Now, this does not mean THOMSON is shutting down. However, our tips say the high security inmates will be moved somewhere else, while the lower security prisoners at THOMSON's camp will remain. We don't know where these prisoners might be going or why this move is happening now, but we do know this prison has been plagued with problems since the day that it opened. There's been issues with hiring and retaining staff. There's been reports of inmates being mistreated, as well as countless reports of staff members being sexually assaulted by inmates themselves. We also know that THOMSON is home to special management units. Now, these are where some of the most high security prisoners are being housed throughout the country. They're also known as restrictive housing units. We know that there's been a push by some lawmakers, including the Biden administration, to cut back on these sort of special housing units across the country. Now, we've tried contacting THOMSON's management countless times over the last few months, as well as again this morning, and still we haven't heard anything back. Guys?
All right, thank you. Shelby Kluver reporting live for us. There are 639 inmates at THOMSON. That breaks down to 509 at the prison and 130 at the camp. Again, this is a developing story with few confirmed details. We will continue to follow this story on air and on our website at WQAD.com.
Can't go? Do this to clear up.